In this video, I'll demonstrate how to create an online data analysis protocol for variable sample batch sizes. This feature is particularly useful for data files that may not be in a format automatically imported and with a variable number of samples for each run. Let's first take a look at my measurement data file. This CSV data file contains measurement data in column A with the sample ID designations in column C. This assay will always contain a variable number of samples. This first file contains 14 unknown samples, all run in triplicate. Note that this feature is compatible with both microplate and rack-based assays. If you have a starting point MyAssays Desktop Protocol, you can update the import method to match your data file. For more information, please see the Importing Data with an Unbounded Range video appearing on screen now or within the video description. For this example, I'll demonstrate how to create a simple protocol from scratch using MyAssays Desktop. Within the MyAssays Desktop Explorer, I'll select New Protocol to open the New Protocol wizard. I'll select the My Data is in a File or Spread Across Multiple Files option and press Next. Here I'll browse for and select my CSV measurement data file and press Next. On the next step, we'll receive a notification that the contents of our data file could not be automatically determined, so we can provide a little additional information to build our custom import method. I'll select that my data is endpoint and CPM and press Next. My assay is measured in a 10-sample rack-based format, so I'll make those selections and press Next. Here we'll specify the delimiters for our data file. My data is separated by commas, so I'll make that selection. Under the Advanced settings, you'll find further options allowing you to identify the decimal separator symbol, start the import after a specified text, or skip specified rows. I'll leave these set to the default and press Next. Next, we can select where the endpoint values are located. We could simply highlight the cells containing the existing measurement data. However, this would save the import method only to include the measurement values within this range. For this assay, I'll instead highlight all of column A. This will include any measurement values contained in this column. On the next step, we can identify the sample types used in our assay. In this case, my layout is comprised of unknown samples, so I'll make that selection and press Next. Next, we'll specify how our samples are arranged. You can select from existing layouts or select Create to create a new layout. This layout matches my assay layout, and opening the layout, we can see our unknown sample shown with one group and 3 replicates. You'll notice that this unknown sample has been highlighted in yellow. This denotes a dynamic sample type, meaning that regardless of how many samples are included in my measurement data file, the layout will automatically adjust to include all imported measurements, in this case as unknown samples. Moving to the next step, we can see that our measurement data has been successfully imported. Next, we can add a protocol name and optionally add a description. I'll enter the protocol name variable sample batch, and we'll be performing a simple analysis for this protocol, calculating the %CV of the CPM. So I'll enter the description, calculates %CV of measurement data for each sample group. Note that more sophisticated analyses are also possible with this technique, including quantitative analysis with a fixed number of standards and a variable number of unknown samples to compute. But to keep this demo short, we'll just perform a simple %CV calculation. And finally, we can review the configuration summary and press Finish to launch the protocol. Once our protocol opens, we can see our sample table, which includes the sample IDs, number, and raw values. Let's add our %CV calculation. Opening the Properties control, I'll select the Transforms tab and select Add to view the transforms available for use with our measurement data. I'll select the percentage coefficient of variation transform and press Create to add it to my protocol. Let's recalculate. On our report, you can see the sample table has been updated to include the %CV calculation. I'm happy with this analysis. However, you could of course continue to add further calculations as needed. Let's save our changes and publish to myassays2.com. Opening my myassays2.com homepage, I'll select the My Protocols tab. I'll select a Publish Protocol and browse for and select our protocol file. On the next step, I'll select to publish this protocol to a new assay with public visibility. On the next step, we can optionally edit the assay name and link And on the final step, we can select Publish to publish our protocol. The protocol now appears on My Protocols tab, and clicking the File folder icon opens the protocol. Now my protocol is ready for continued analysis online. Share this link with your collaborators or colleagues to allow analysis without having MyAssays Desktop installed on your PC. I have a second data set I'd like to perform analysis for. Opening the file, you can see that this time my assay run contains 17 unknowns. To import my data for analysis, I'll select Choose File under the Measurements tab, browse for and select my measurement data, and pressing Open, you can see the import was successful, and the Measurements tab as well as the Rack Layout tab have been updated to include all 17 unknown samples. Pressing Calculate returns our Excel report. If you have any questions about creating an analysis protocol for publish to myassays2.com with support for importing a variable sample batch size, please email us at support@myassays.com.